Welcome. Why does it always have to start that way, right?
It's you. It's always you.
It is always
It's you. I look up and that's where your face goes. Can we start this again now?
No, it's gonna go. Let's get you. There you go. Smile.
Okay. We're smiling. We're just gonna open up with a smile.
Welcome everyone to the Esteban Hour. Thank you for joining us. We're starting a little bit late, so we hope that you're still able to join us. And if not, you can always catch it on the replay. Welcome to the Esteban Hour. How was your week? My week was good. How was your week? What? Hold that thought for a second.
I'm done.
Today we're about current events. With how the week has been. Chris Rock and his net worth, his Netflix special, where he talks about his famous slap with Will Smith. The former President Trump and his appearance at the CPAC. What he said there that caught everybody's attention, although we already know. And a couple of goodies that we have installed for you of some viral videos that we'd like to share and get some opinions with our guest panel. Let's introduce our guests first. Miss Lady D, how you doing?
I'm good for 9:32.
Yeah, well, you know.
Good evening, everyone. No, we're good. We're here. We're happy. We're blessed. Another day.
And who are you?
I am the one and only Lady D. I mean, really. What?
You sure there's nobody else like you?
Oh, baby. They go to mode when they made me. I'm cut from another cloth.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
and welcome back to the show as well, Mr. JB. How you doing today?
I'm all right.
How was your week?
Different.
What does that mean?
It was all over the place. Here, there, and everywhere. A little Dr. Seuss with it.
A little what?
Dr. Seuss. We had a little Dr. Seuss week. We was here, there, and everywhere.
Hey,
It be like that sometimes.
It definitely does. All right. First on our list tonight is a video we're going to share with you. This video is about an elderly woman who was refused care by both the hospital staff and also the police department. Now, I'm sure many of y'all out there have seen this video before. It is quite disturbing. And in fact, it makes you kind of angry when you look at it and watch the people that have been put in a position of leadership to lend support, care, and protection. Watch what they do to this lady. They totally disregard her feelings when she says she can't breathe. Watch this. Now we can't get the video to start. Yeah, get your drinks.
I'm glad you know.
I'm talking. I understand you say you got some problems going on. You're going to have to find a way to get out of here, okay? I don't want this to turn into a situation where you have to go to jail.
Shattered my ankle. I had a stroke.
Well, if the medical professionals have saw you and discharged you...
They won't stop doing it.
Go ahead, Bravo. You have a wagon sitting over there. Jail. Confirmed.
All right, young lady. Oh, no.
I need you to step up.
I
Okay?
can't.
Yeah, you have to.
Pull me down. I can't. You're going to break
Yes, ma'am. You're going to have to get
my
it.
ankle.
Don't you dare fucking throw yourself on the ground.
Oh my God.
You're not going to die.
You got to get an extra charge for this order cleaned up. You about to get anything I can think of.
Beating sidewalk.
I'm
You
not.
got to get anything I can think of. There's no distraction for you.
Yes, it is. I'm sick. Okay. No, shut up.
You can set yourself up.
How can you kill me? I can't breathe. I can't.
You pulled yourself to.
It's in me up. Oh my God.
Scoot back towards me.
Pull me. My car?
I'm sorry, I ain't doing so.
Okay. Stop and pull me up. I can't breathe. Huh?
Hey, are you up? I don't know. She's not responding back there now. Can you start me at 47 here emergency, please? Hey, come on, sit up. Sit up.
20 to 41, is it your prisoner that's unconscious or the driver of the car you stopped?
My prisoner. Sit up. Yeah. I don't know if she's faking it or what, but she's not answering me. Wake up. Hey, wake up.
Like a dog.
Absolutely incredible and outrageous. Let's talk about it. Who wants to go first?
You know, the sad problem with this all around is the medical director who discharged that lady, the hospital who discharged that lady, the officers who played a part. You know, at one point, I'm not sure if you guys heard, because I actually watched this video from before. He mentions how it was the day the Lord gave him, all he wanted was some oatmeal and a cup of coffee. She was getting on, you know, she was wasting his time.
Who the officer
The
said
officer
that?
said that. At one point in the video, he says that. Another point in the video, if you didn't notice what he said, I'm going to charge you with disorderly conduct and everything I can think of.
Right.
You know, the hatred that people start to have towards cops because of these bad apples is undeniable.
Yep.
Okay? You know, if you can't serve and protect all walks of life in this role, then you are not meant to be a cop, period. And I mean that if you're black or white, because we already know black cops do the same thing too. We lost a brother because black cops decided to kick his behind the other day. So you know, when I say that, it don't matter if you're black, white, purple. If you put that uniform on and you don't respect what that uniform means, then you should not be in that role. The sad part about all this,
But do they actually acknowledge that?
no, they don't, and that's what I'm getting to. If you look more into this video that had played, the DA of that county, I think is this Texas, Tennessee, it's one of those down south places.
Yes.
No charges, found no negligence.
Nothing at
So
all.
the hospital's not being accounted for, nor is the police. Now, the minute someone tells you they can't breathe, that is to be taken seriously. Maybe she sounded, it was muffled. Maybe she could have been drunk. Don't make a damn difference. When someone tells you they cannot breathe and you was worried about her urinating in the car, you know what happens when people urinate? When you die, your bowels let loose.
Here's what I see. I see that they took for granted who she was. Look at this old lady. Maybe she's a bum. She's homeless. She's bothering the medical establishment, and she needs to get out of here.
Well, that's
they did not believe what she said based on her appearance. You know, again, a bum, so to speak. And so they made fun. They made a mockery of her situation. And the result was she died. But it's not just the police.
But the hospital.
It's the hospital as well.
No. I totally agree. You know, someone who works in the healthcare field. There's someone, again, there are specific words. If you go to the ED right now and you say to them, my chest is tight and I can't breathe, you bump people that are waiting there. That is one term that they look out for. You can't breathe. Unless you have a gunshot wound, you come in first. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we have to get you on oxygen. We got to figure out if there's something that's obstructing your airway. This lady couldn't breathe, and you discharged her. And on top of that, she said her ankle was broken. So you're screaming at her to stand up. How can she stand up if her leg is
They
broken?
were pushing her into the ambulance and pushing her into the cop car.
Every day, more and more and more, I lose respect for police officers. Every day, more and more, I lose respect for them. You just don't give a damn.
I mean, what,
Why? Why do you become a cop? Just to hold a gun?
what do you think, JB?
To become above the law.
What do you think if this was to happen to your mother, your grandmother? How would you feel to hear this is what happened, and not only to hear this happen, but to hear that your grandmother was dead because this happened? How would you feel?
I know. I don't know why he asked that question.
That's why I asked. I want to hear. I want to hear it from JB. How would that make you feel?
I'm glad I wore red because it could camouflage that I would.
Right.
The feeling would be the least of your worry.
Right.
It's the revenge that would take place afterward that would be astronomical.
And to see them laughing and giggling
Yes.
and making light of the situation.
I didn't even like the way they pulled her hair.
I was just- I was-
That's where I was going.
Like a dog.
You didn't even try to raise her up, like grab her underneath her
Nope.
arms to raise
Lift
her
her
up,
up
like,
by her hair.
but you snatched her by her hair like she's a puppy, like a puppet.
And then now to see or to know that there's been no there's been no consequences
There's not
for
gonna be.
these officers or medical staff at the moment.
At the time, I think what needs to happen, unfortunately, is that this video needs to be so viral and blast those law enforcement and the DA down there.
It's getting
so
there.
viral that they are inclined to have to do something, because that's the only way things happen now. That's the only way repercussions happen. It's on videotape, and too many eyes have to see it and scream out the injustice of it for some action to be taken. Just think of it this way. What if it was your mother or your grandmother? First of all, my mother and my grandmother wouldn't be going to the hospital by themselves. That's number one.
Well, remember,
But you
that's
don't
why
know
they
the
took the
circumstances.
situation.
You don't know the
They
circumstances.
took advantage of the
You
situation
don't know the
because she was there in a
circumstances.
wheelchair by
You don't know
herself.
the circumstances. You don't know why her loved ones wasn't there, but you do know she does have loved ones.
I
Okay?
got 3 words for you.
And my family would never go to the hospital by themselves.
What are those 3 words?
Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah. Okay. I don't believe those 3 words, but I'll take them.
Law-abiding citizen. If you know anything about that movie,
Oh.
Isn't it the one with Jamie Foxx? Right? Is that the one with Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw part of that before.
I would do so much homework on who was there, where they live,
What they did.
and
Yeah,
I
every
would go
dirt.
through all those extremities that he did.
Listen.
But it's sad that you had to...
And control.
but it's sad that you have to even do that. But again, the fact that the prosecutors are not prosecuting them, the fact that the hospital is not being liable,
Gives them the okay.
it gives them the okay to behave in such a way.
And that's what makes it even more outrageous, because now if we bring it into like a racial thing, let's go back to the black police officers that were fired immediately and brought up on charges.
Of course.
What happened here? And it's on videotape where they clearly did not follow procedure. I mean, I don't care that a person is even faking it. I don't care. It's your job to, if you have to deal with the fakeness over and over again, charge her for it then. If you find out at the end that it's fake,
but it's not
but you
even
don't,
that.
if someone's telling you, I can't breathe.
What would have hurt for them to take her back into the hospital? And for the
No,
hospital,
the hospital said
No,
that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said, "Ma'am, you're faking it. The
faking
hospital cleared you." No, he didn't say you're faking it, but he said, "Ma'am, there's nothing wrong with you. The hospital cleared you."
But again, what would have hurt for the hospital? Even if you feel like something would, they have psych wards too. Take it to the psych ward. Let her stay on the sidewalk, give her a plate of food, give her something to eat, and then check. If her foot hurts, check, do an x-ray. See if there's something broken.
Did you see how many cops were there?
Yes.
So
yes. Doing nothing.
Nobody did nothing.
So why force her to do anything? It's more than enough for y'all to carry her.
Yes.
Because it was a good day the Lord made, and He wanted oatmeal and coffee, and she was butting into His oatmeal and coffee time.
Yes.
That's why.
They really diminished the seriousness of it.
I don't trust cops as far as you can throw them.
It's sad, and I don't like to talk that way because again,
I
we need our police officers, but we don't need police officers that do that.
Need policing.
But the problem with that is it's hard,
that need
but
policing.
But that's the problem. You want to be able to say, I'm going to call the cops and know that, they're going to do X, Y, and Z. With everything that happens now, you better off getting your own firearm and just holding it down your damn self. Because what are you going to do?
Right. Because
what are you going to do for me?
Do you trust? Can you trust the police?
That's the
or not?
point. And every time you see stories like this, it diminishes a little bit more, slowly but surely, of the lack of trust that you have with them.
And respect.
Oh.
They want the respect. They deserve the respect, but how do they expect the respect?
They don't give respect.
Like this.
They don't give respect. Again, she's an older woman. Think of it if it was your mother, your grandmother. You want to respect your senior citizens. Or at least attempt to try to respect them. It wouldn't have hurt nothing for you to go back to the hospital and say, listen, I know you said she's clear, but this lady is apparently saying she can't breathe. Please have someone check her out. And if she's all cleared and everything is okay, we will then escort her. Not throw her, escort her. What about calling a family member? No point nobody said to her. Nobody in the video said, ma'am, do you have a daughter or a family member that we can call for you? You understand what I'm saying? The women had kids. I think at one of the something I saw where they showed a picture of her where she looked clean and looked presentable, and it was either her granddaughter or her daughter. She had family. You couldn't ask her, is there somebody that we can call? Because that would have been too much for you. It took away from the oatmeal. We had to get to the oatmeal.
Right.
Damn it.
Well, listen, I really hope that woman's family gets retribution for what has happened to her, gets paid by both the hospital staff and the police department. Now, no money in the world is enough for losing your loved one, especially in this manner. But I hope something happens in this area. I hope these police officers, obviously they shouldn't be in that line of work, my opinion. If you can't protect, isn't that part of protecting the people?
Listen, this person would fall in that bucket, and you don't like to say bum. She's a lay person, right? She's a disabled person. She may have some comorbidities. Whatever the case may be, it is not right to treat her like she is the garbage underneath your shoe. She's a human being.
Absolutely.
Period.
And they made fun
of
how she smelled. It was all over him.
And spraying him down with Lysol.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to say anything wrong with that. I get that. When you're in healthcare, you things squirt and shoot and, you have your cover up.
I get it too, but she's dead now, so now it's not funny.
It's not, is it?
All right. Moving on to Mr. Chris Rock. Now, we all remember the famous Will Smith slap that happened a year ago at the Oscars. It was a jaw dropper. It was a WTF moment that has been replayed millions and millions of times. Well, Chris Rock has stayed silent up until now and released his energy in his newest comedy show or special on Netflix. It jokes about watching Will Smith's emancipation. Okay, as you could see, we have there's a famous slap. We had to make sure that we got it up there. that is the work done for Will Smith to show the beatings, because I believe I didn't watch that show, but I believe it was about being whipped and slavery, I think.
I'm sure it played a part with slavery.
And Chris Rock had a couple of interesting things to say. Now I know you guys watched it. I did not yet. So I'll let you go, but I want to hear from JB first. What did you think of his special? That tells a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm not a big Chris Rock fan at all.
That's okay to say.
But I did watch for the sake of the show. I didn't even watch for keeping up with the Joneses and going along with everybody else and being able to join in on the commentary that's on social media. It was strictly for having knowledge to be able to speak upon the subject on the show. And I agree with a lot of the stuff that he said as far as concerning the slap, that Will Smith took advantage of who he was and the situation because of the fact that he is a bigger individual than him. So he called it choice outrage. That selective outrage. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they entitled the whole entire show. It was called selective outrage. And I agree. If it was anybody else that was standing there, I don't think that he would have been so quick to jump up there. Now, honestly, when I saw the actual slap live, I thought it was a hoax.
We all did.
A lot of people did.
We all.
I
thought it was a hoax for 2 seconds because I was actually watching the whole show, and I remember I was in my office. I had turned my eye for a second, and all I heard was the audience. Oh, so I went back and I'm like, what just happened? And that's when it played out when Will Smith started screaming, keep my wife's effing name out of my mouth. And I just stared at the TV. That was the moment of shock of, did that just happen? And then it wasn't, did it just happen? Am I watching the Oscars? Are these the Oscars? Because you would never, and anyone who bet that would happen would have all lost their bets, but it did. But now, so he stayed silent for a whole year, and I think he did it on purpose. The Oscars are this Sunday, right? And I think this was the perfect timing to come out, so we can all talk about him instead of, did you see what happened a year ago, or why isn't Will Smith? Do you remember Will Smith is not being invited today? Because I'm sure that's what they're going to talk about.
First of all, Will Smith is not invited for 10 years, so it's not even point counting. I mean, he can count the years. Doesn't make a difference to us. Like you, first of all, I'm not big on watching any of these awards, whether it's Grammys, Oscars. I'm not big on it. I think celebrities are overrated. We put these people on the pedestal.
That's why I thought it was a hoax, because it was losing ratings. So this is something.
You thought it was going to spice it up, but I think in general we put these celebrities on this level, on this pedestal, and it's disgusting, quite frankly. And our children admire them, and I want to be like this, and I want to be an influencer, and I want to be this. Please. The truth of the matter is, in my eyes, I feel bad for Will Smith because I think Chris is right. I think he selectively took out his anger. This man has been getting punked for years because his wife and her stupid ass red table decided to open up her face and tell this man on live TV that she has basically slept around on him. She's disgusting.
Well, that's what he said.
Wait, but let me just finish. But let me finish my thought seriously. And not only did you blatantly just air your laundry out, even if you do have an open marriage, even if that is the agreement that you and your husband have, why in the hell do you feel it is appropriate to discuss what y'all do behind your closed doors? That's number one. Number two that I have a problem with. Will again has been getting dogged for years with her and her behavior and what she does, and he took it out on Chris Rock, where that frustration should have been on the person she had what did she call it up? I had a entanglement with. Your anger, my brother, should have been brought out on Jaden's friend who your wife had an entanglement with. It just sounds disgusting for you to call it entanglement. No, heifer, it's adultery. It's fornication. Okay?
Yes.
Let's just be upfront about that. It's adultery.
Fornication.
It's fornication. You had sex and you cheated on your husband, whether you had an open marriage or not.
Yeah,
and you basically said that to this man, and everybody, whatever. And everybody has blatantly, comically made so much fun of this man. I mean, I'm shocked he still has a pair of testicles, because you done stripped this man.
Yes.
No, seriously.
But it's his fault. He allowed it.
No, part
he
of
allowed
it is his fault. But here's the other part too, and that's why it's so hard, because sometimes in relationships, there's a person who loves 70 and there's a person who loves 30. It's nice that you can find a person who loves 50-50. But there's usually one person in a relationship that loves more, that gives more, that accepts more, that tolerates more, for whatever reasons. And you can see he's the one in that relationship that has accepted more, that has tolerated more, that has given more.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And the problem with that is, if that's the way the dynamic of a relationship, that's fine. But you don't penalize him or chastise him or embarrass him because of it. Your husband...
No, you don't embarrass him or penalize him on national television, period.
Period. But she took it upon herself with this stupid red tape, and I always thought, and no disrespect, I'm sorry, Jada Pinkett has always been a mediocre actress to me. I'm going to be straight up. That's my opinion. This stuff is mediocre. And you have made yourself more mediocre. And the thing what I like about Chris Rock is, because I watched it, I like the fact when he made a couple of statements. He said, I'm not a victim. I appreciated that. I like when he said, and not that when he said, I like the fact that he spoke his piece on his platform and what he wanted to. He didn't go to Gayle. He didn't go to Oprah. He didn't go to The View and sit there like the Meghan Markles and everything else to cry out your woes. He waited and he banked on it. And brother, you had every right to do it in Baltimore. Who gives a rat's ass? That's where she's from.
And even though it was a comedy, it was a comedy thing. There was a lot of truth to it, because he basically was saying, "Listen, lady, you bought your dirty laundry on television, and I'm making fun of it. How you mad at me for that?"
And then I think the other part too is the fact that you use alopecia as the reason that your feelings are so hurt. Let me explain something. If anybody who don't know, alopecia is something a lot of people suffer from. And I'm not taking away from the importance of it and how it hurts people and how it harms people, because as a female, having your hair, that's very important. This is your crown. This is the sister's crown. But then as important as having something like cancer or AIDS. Now, if he had made something like that or cancer like that, I could see you being a little bit more, a little touchy.
I mean, it's obvious.
That he didn't know.
But he knew. She'd been talking about alopecia at the red table for how goddamn long.
Yeah.
So stop the crap.
Yeah.
Stop the crap.
He knew.
I don't watch that crap either. Again, I am not a fan of Jada Pinkett. I'm not a fan of hers. I think she's an average, mediocre actress. I'm not a fan of her.
I think the red table is cool. I like it. I like it.
But we also missing the fact that this didn't just stem from him going off of the red table talk. And what
it's
happened
everything.
She took a shot at him, like stating like he should not be a part of the shows and all that. So how you taking a shot at me for no reason?
Oh, you talking about Chris?
Yeah.
Or when he was doing the Oscars and he was the host and but here, again, regardless of that, he wasn't the host that night. He was introducing that night, and the fact that he made a comment about your head about G.I. Jane, no disrespect, I don't want to have a problem with like G.I. Jane. She's strong, she's tough, she's independent, and she can hold it down. You looked at your husband, who laughed, by the way. Mm-hmm. Will Smith laughed at it until you looked at him and was like, "Go stick him, dog." What the hell's wrong with you? Knowing damn well that was your husband's night. Knowing damn well
it was definitely
that was
because
night.
It was on TV. Let's take this this tweet that someone just wrote in regards to it. He said that this is a controversial take. talking about Chris Rock's comedy routine. But I think Will Smith should slap Chris Rock again this year. I thought that was a little bit off the top.
No.
Yeah, you agree.
Listen, but hold on. We're not. But hold on.
Because there's one point in the show that I didn't agree with. The point I didn't agree with was he said anybody that said words hurt has never got slapped, has never got hit before. The words that he spoke after touching on it, those hurt. I know those
in
words.
which regard?
Those words.
When you
cut
called
me.
her BSETH?
Yes, when he called him a female dog.
Hold on.
I think I kind of agree.
Because he said you are not only that because you are bigger than me and took advantage of the size difference.
Yes.
But also because you did not address the person that your wife.
But he's right by saying that. Will
Yes.
Smith didn't. So
Yes, he
hold on.
did.
Will Smith did it, and you took it out on this man. Now we are not talking about Chris Rock and him being a mediocre comedian. I'm not even talking about that. Okay, he's not the best out of all of them out there. He's average. Some stuff is funny, some stuff is not.
How do you know that he didn't? He's heard enough slack from that it's like enough is enough. You reach a boiling point.
Who are you talking about? Will, are you talking about
I'm
Chris?
talking about Will. After you hear, like,
But that's
okay,
my point.
My dirty laundry's been out. People been taking shots. My face is used as a meme on any time somebody fails. They put a crying face of him.
His manhood
It's like,
was hurt.
But hold
it's
on,
like,
but hold
enough
on.
is enough.
But
But then here, like you said, it was his night. So if this is my night and you're still there,
But he didn't go after
And it happened to be a it happened to be a guy that he was able
about his
to
wife. And again, I'm sorry. The
As a
comment,
man, you gotta protect your wife. So
you
that's
gotta
a-
protect your wife. You gotta protect your wife. But at the end of the day, he called her G.I. Jane. What the hell is so bad about that?
You brought up a good point, John. You brought up that was a how do you say, that was a big thing online last year, that he had to defend his wife. I get it. I understand. JB is right when he said that you have to protect your wife. But was that a moment that was worth protecting? Did that
Exactly.
need protection?
It really, honestly, I don't feel that way because it looked like he didn't do it on his own. If he
She
would
influenced
have
it.
just did it on his own, stand-up guy. But for him to have to be egged on by the left,
That's the problem I have.
that
But
was
hold
it.
on.
Yeah, that-
And let me be clear. That's the problem that I have with her as a female. I'm not taking away, and I appreciate that.
But there's a lot of women that like that.
Yes.
that turns them on.
Yes.
But
Yes.
here's the
They
problem
get a
with
rush
that.
out of that.
I
Like,
hear you.
You gonna let him get away with that?
Yes.
Oh,
Listen.
look at my man going to
Yes.
fight for me.
Yes.
Chivalry
Yes.
still lives.
Next thing you know, they're getting arrested, and the wife is like, honey, I'll see you tomorrow. Man up, you'll be good, and I'll bail you out tomorrow. What is that?
But here's the problem that I have with
August,
this.
can you pick me up?
You so stupid. I'm done. Here's my point in saying that. I don't disagree with wanting your better half to stick up for you. And as a female, yes, it does turn you on. Yes, you like that. You feel love. You feel secure. You feel protected. However, this was your husband's night, and he still won the Oscar. There's a time and there's a place. Use discernment. Now, what I would say to you is, let Chris have that little smart-ass comment. When we get behind the after party, stick him.
That's right.
Stick him. And you get him. You make sure you
Slap him then.
You
Yeah.
do whatever you want to do that you feel. But you don't give your husband that look on the highlight of his night in front of millions of people. You should know better. And you should know your man, heifer. Okay?
right.
There's a time
That's right.
and there's a place. And that was not
That's
the
right.
goddamn time or the place. And on top of that, keep in mind, comedians talk about everybody and anybody. Okay? Everybody is open for grabs. We can go right
You
now
have to have an element
any
of
one
thick
of us
skin,
right now
right?
can go to a comedy show, if you sitting in that front row and he comes out, he may say something about your nose, he may say something about your big ass forehead, he may say something about my afro. It's just there. We're there, and that's what they do.
Well, let's see what happens at this year's Oscars.
It ain't gonna be as much fun.
It
I'm
may
only
not.
watching it
But
for Rihanna.
what's this guy?
What you finna
What'd you say,
Well, you
JB?
dumbass.
Your nose. My ass. I thought you were just throwing out random. She came 360 to yourself. Hey, hold up.
No, but I'm just saying it can happen. You know that. You so stupid. You cover your nose, dumbass.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens at this year's
I'm only watching it for
Oscars.
Rihanna.
That will be on in a couple of days. Jimmy Kimmel was hosting. He did say that there will be no slapping going on.
Then nobody
So
wants to watch.
let's hope that that happens. Right? All right.
For the Jerry.
Moving on. So in the news cycle this week, it's been a little bit of, well, not a little bit, but Donald Trump, he just recently appeared at the CPAC. It was very interesting, as it always is with him. Half the audience was empty. Thank goodness. But he said a speech. But what I gathered, or one of the things that I gathered from his speech, is when he mentioned that retribution. Vengeance. So if he comes back into office, shouldn't he be able to get retribution on, I guess, everybody who has been against him or who has not been a supporter? What are your words on that?
I hate that man. I'm going to be quite honest. I have never seen someone who is just the dung underneath your shoe. This man has had a silver spoon all his life, was raised as a racist, was raised by a criminal, and has conducted criminal activities all his life. And the fact that you are so immature at 70-something years old to basically say, if I get into the highest seat of this office again, vengeance is mine. Well, last time I checked, vengeance belongs to God, because you reap what you sow. You leave that up to him. But you want to sit here and go after people because they don't like you, or go after people because they know that you're a fraud. Anyone who's from New York, a true New Yorker, knows that you're a con artist. Bloomberg said it beautifully when he said that. Anybody who is from New York knows that you're a con artist. You got Stormy Daniel problems right now.
Oh, does he? Does he? And here's someone, not to cut you off, but someone sent a tweet that said, Donald Trump is about to head into stormy weather.
Stormy weather. The other problem with this, and this is how disgusting our system is. This man basically said, even if I'm indicted, I'm still running. Why is that possible? Why should you?
For real.
The fact that no, don't get me wrong, because I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm not even going down that road because that's a whole other topic. I'm just saying the loopholes and the corruption in our government.
Right. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or Democrat.
It doesn't matter.
How the hell are you able to run for president or be involved in a campaign and you are under an indictment? If that were me, it would be over. As soon as you mention the name, game over. So how is that possible? The entire legal justice system is being made a mockery of for the last 2-3 years. Am I correct? Because this man has been allowed to get away with so much, and you constantly ask yourself, how?
And for those reasons, and I'm glad that his chairs were empty. I don't think he has a hold over the masses like he did before.
Not anymore.
And I think a lot of people, regardless whether he's indicted or not, I don't think, first of all, if that idiot from Florida runs, DeSantis,
we don't even want to get into that.
No.
You never know.
No, I think he is. No. I think he is. I think DeSantis is going to run.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And I think if DeSantis runs, I don't see how
popular. are not with Trump because it's become it's not even a voting on moral or voting on who's better. It's a pick your poison.
Right. That's my opinion as well.
It's not even a pick your poison. It's who wants power. It's not anything to help you, to help me. It's a power trip.
But
the Republicans will put anybody in there to keep power. It has nothing to. They blatantly said that.
Yeah, but
Look
what
at the-
JB is saying is that both there's serious issues with both, and so which poison are you going to go for? Because on their side, they seem to love them both. There is no middle mediocre person that's centrist, that's a centrist or a moderate. Both of them are far left.
Wait, but
I believe in hindsight with the situation we dealing with now. I've heard literally people that were totally against Trump and was, I hate Trump, this, that, and the third, say, I'm so upset that I voted for this Biden. Because that whole aura of the Biden getting into office was crazy in itself. Number one, you was up against Kamala, and she stated how you got on the bus when it was segregation and you traumatized her. And now she lost and she joined you? And now you use her to say, you're not black if you don't vote for me because she's on my side, because she took my side. So should you. And you're not black if you don't vote for me. And to act like you're going to do stuff for the minorities, and as soon as you get into office, all it is free the Mexicans that's been locked in these asylums, and then make all these, cut off the unemployment, don't sign for the next stimulus check.
don't get me started about stimulus checks, because I know a lot of people sitting and waiting their fat asses on those stimulus checks and ain't doing nothing about it. Don't get me started, JB.
That's the truth, but it's
You know why I'm laughing.
That's the
Fat ass is just sitting there waiting for a damn stimulus check.
But it's the
Let me
truth.
just have a drink, because I'm about to go left with that crap.
But at the end of the day, ever since this man said he was going to do, what has he done for the minorities yet?
Well, I don't disagree with you.
Absolutely nothing. He said there was no money to continue unemployment, and then when they had the Turkish come in, they gave them $2,000 stipends.
So here's
Where did that money come from?
That's a fair
hold
point.
on. I
They illegal immigrants, but you have money for them, but not the people that live here.
Not the people sitting their fat asses, but hold on. Listen, I agree 150% with you, and I'm gonna go back to Chris Rock with this because he also talked about the Republicans, Democrats, and I think what he said was phenomenal. The Republicans blatantly lie. Everything they do is lie. And the Democrats leave information out. I loved it. I was sold. You didn't hear that part?
Yes.
And I don't care what you say. You ain't got to like Chris Rock, but he said it so well.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, dude, yes.
I will agree
You have
with
to agree with that one. When he was like, the Republicans go without every lie, say every lie, and do every lie, and the Democrats leave information out. Listen, man should not be ruling man. That's how I look at it. I don't care who you're going to put in the office. Nobody's going to be able to fix these problems, and it's just unfortunate. We just got to roll with it. But you like said, pick your poison. Pick your poison.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick your
And
poison.
with
You're
that
right.
thought, that both, look, you just said it. Both sides are basically in the wrong. I don't vote. I'm neither nor or. But I said to myself, if in that era of when Trump ran against which one?
Biden.
No, when he went against
Hillary Clinton.
I would have voted for Trump because ultimately all of our issues are money problems. The world is in debt. We owe this person. We owe that country. We do this. We do that. It's all about money. So the politics of how everything is running is not even the issue here. We need to get the money right. So as a man who deals in money,
He ain't good at that. You know how many times he
Yeah,
filed for bankruptcy?
have you seen
that's
his?
what
How many times he filed for
Have you
bankruptcy?
seen
Have
his
you seen
finances?
that on top, right?
What did you say?
No.
He dogged everybody
No.
else and allowed everyone else to go into hell, so
Yes.
he can stay on
Yes,
top.
But no.
which means obviously he knows how to get that money.
No, see,
Kept him on top. So
I-
our country needs to do that to other countries.
That man has evaded taxes.
No!
That
To
man,
the other countries
that man
open up,
has evaded
give us back.
taxes.
He wanted to make America great again.
if you don't
We need
shut
to be
up,
back on top.
Right?
if you don't shut up,
We are not going to make America great again by killing everyone, smothering everyone,
My thing with
bankrupting
that slogan
everyone.
was, ultimately, when was America great? in the first place.
America has never been great. We already know that. The problem with this is, okay, this is why he's in the process about to be indicted, because the man has committed too much fraud, tax evasion. He has worked the loopholes.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, he used some of. Let me stop.
That's the American way.
No, not. No,
Wait.
No,
everybody's getting over on the government.
He's correct. He is correct.
I pay my taxes.
No, but he's right. And no, the rich people are doing that. They're not doing business 100% legally. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. But here's the point.
Yeah, this dumb.
I agree with that. But here's my point. My point is that to me, he's right. The corporations are doing all those kind of things. It's a difference when you're in a place of political yes, okay, you're the president now, so you were doing that before. You can't be doing that ish right now because everybody is watching you.
Us a bone.
But look, that's how we got in the colonization. All they did was come here. How do you discover somewhere somebody's at?
We already know that. No, you're right.
Get you fat and get you high, and then pull out guns, and this is ours.
That was centuries ago. So that happened then.
Right.
That was good. That happened then. Because of that, it got us to where we at now. We cannot continue to put guns to people's heads and tell them, "Give me all your money." Because that's basically what they do. What not all corporations, but a lot of corporations, when they handle business that way, claiming bankruptcy, knowing that your little small business is going to go to hell because they did a job for you, you're claiming bankruptcy, and now they get nothing. How is that making America great again? It's not fair. It's not right. It's not justice. Pay your bills. You don't like what someone did? Pay your bills.
You got people working for you. How you think that feels? And I don't care where they're from. Mexican, Jamaican, purple, green. They did a service for you. Pay them. That's number one.
But now the only way that you're going to come on top is if...
to pay off Stormy Daniels, the porn person, too.
Hold on.
That's legal.
The only way you're going to get on top, like Donald Trump, is to defraud them or to file for bankruptcy. How is that being a good businessman?
It's not. It's not.
Okay, let's last thing I want to point out is a tweet that said, when they asked a question in regards to Trump this week and what he's going through, what they said was, "Don't care. Tell me when Donald crime me a river, Trump goes to prison." I thought that was...
I'm sorry, don't care? Wait, go back. Don't care what? Cry me a river, tell me what you... So you saying you want him to go to jail?
Yeah, they want him to go to jail.
We all do.
They're waiting for him to
we all do.
We know that's not going to happen.
I'm not saying
I
that.
don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, I like that. I did like that point in Chris Rock's show where he said, here we are having white people storming the government, saying we're losing the government to white people.
So that was fabulous.
So we're going to storm the
fabulous.
government.
That was fabulous. He said that, yeah. You was trying to storm your own self, dumbasses.
Yeah,
basically. Dumbasses. You're the one who's in power. Who's
taking control? There's no black people with money. So here y'all are storming the office, attacking your own selves.
Yes, that was a good point too. I like that.
I'm trying to check my food.
Okay, so we've got a video. This is a little bit disturbing. This falls under the title or subject of elder abuse. This takes place in a hospital or home health care unit. Take a look at this.
I'm trying to check my food.
I mean,
what is she trying to do?
I know. Oh, who wanted it?
I am not comfortable watching this.
I'm trying to check my food.
Protecting her. How would you feel? I mean, this was bad.
I'm trying to be a good Christian. I really am working on it, and I've been taking a lot to prayer. So I would have to at least speak with administration first and see if we can resolve this. I need that person to be terminated, and I would need charges brought up against her as assault. Now, if the company cannot do that, I'm gonna have to pay for some forgiveness because I'm gonna catch you outside in that parking lot.
And I applaud you for trying to be a Christian, but somebody is getting their ass beat.
I said if they don't fire her, we don't pick up charges.
No, I didn't say firing and charges. Yes, I want that too. Somebody is getting. See how she pulled her hair? Somebody is getting their hair pulled out of their scalp. If I was to find out someone did that to my grandmother, that is now we don't know what the situation was, but it does not matter. It doesn't matter. What do you think, JB? Look at your face.
I think that she wouldn't have met me outside. She would have met me inside her apartment. As she came through her own door and turned on her lights. Oh, what are you doing here?
1 hour later.
Let's skip the silly details of how I got in.
Right.
And what am I doing here?
Right. There you go.
Let's talk about what you did and what the repercussions of that are going to now take place.
Right.
That's what you need to worry about. What's going to happen now?
Do you think ever that those workers ever think about how family members would feel or react?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
I think because they're in a ball of rage, and I think what happens is you tune all that out because you're just struggling and you're doing that fight right now with that person. This is, I think, the beauty of cameras, and I think this is the beauty of video, and I think this is the nice part about the social media, right? Where we're able to get things out like that. Again, in all honesty, that lady should not be working there anymore. Because, see, what I don't think is fair is, okay, well, she's not going to take care of this resident anymore. We're going to move her, and she's going to work on the 7th floor.
And that's probably what they would have said.
She won't work on the 3rd floor anymore. No! Because if she can do this to this lady, she's going to do it on the 7th floor, the 10th floor, and the 13th floor. You should no longer be employed, and whatever license or certifications that you have should be terminated. That is abuse. And I don't understand. Listen, if you are not built and you're not in that temperament, I may be in the healthcare field, but I already know my maximum. I am not a person who can go and do sponge baths and wipe feces. That is not me. I started to go to school to become a nurse years ago. I sat down to take my exam, and the light bulb went on one day, and I was like, ooh, no, Lady D, this ain't for you. And that's okay. I know where my strengths and where my weaknesses are. I know that I can't take care of somebody on that level. I don't want to touch you and clean you and feed you. You know what I mean? However, people, I think, get into these roles, even nurses get into these roles because you're looking about the money, or someone who's getting into those fields to be a homemaid or attending because you can't get a better job. Either you are just coming into the country, or you don't have any college degree, or I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So you end up with these low maintenance jobs to take care of our senior citizens for whatever reason, and because you hate the job but you need the paycheck, you do whatever and ever you can do, and you're out there beating little Miss Old Mary. No, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
But what's a bigger problem is when you actually think about it, of reality. This is happening
all
right
the time.
now. all the time, all around the country. Maybe even right now, there's a senior citizen that's being assaulted. What is being done about it? Why do you have a smirk on your face?
It almost sounds like a commercial. Every 1.7 seconds.
Well, they need to make it a commercial.
It's not funny, but at the same time, your initial question was, do you think that these people think about how the family members feel about it? And I can confidently say, no, they don't, because they feel that they put them in these places because they don't have the time. They don't have the resources. They don't, it's almost as if they don't care about them no more. We don't want to exert no energy into this person no more, so you take care of them.
And they
so
kind of,
and
they probably kind of feel like, we're not going to care anyway.
That's not true,
if we find out that they did what they did, which, like you said, Lady D, that's not true.
That's not true. And here's the reason why I said there's some truth in that, in your statement, JB. But here's the other truth. And I say this because I know my mother-in-law, when her mom was put into a facility, I know every other day I was driving her to that facility to make sure we checked on her, clean clothes, stuff like that. And the reason why I know it's not true is because when they see the family show up frequently, they know you don't mess with that lady. Yes. Her family's coming around too frequently.
Right.
But again,
that's right.
but that's where his question comes into
you're
play.
Saying so we know nobody was going to mess with Granny Fern. You know,
that's why they don't think about it, because these are the people that don't have the person that's coming there checking.
You gotta go. You gotta show up.
They might have family that lives out of state.
Right.
So I can't come and check.
In other words, they already know this lady, I can pull her hair, I can punch her in the face. Which is the same as in the Chris Rock, Will Smith situation. If that were DMX or Method Man, he would have never done that. But because he felt it was somebody that he could get away with it, boom. And so likewise manner with the elderly people, they only go after the people that they feel that they could.
But then that goes with the family too, because you said, what if I live out of state? Then whatever state you in, dumbass, is where you should be putting them in a nursing home. I'm sure they got a nursing home down there too.
Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta. It could be about a money thing, a financial thing.
It could be that person can't travel.
Right.
They can't sit there for the car ride, and they can't get in the plane right now.
Right.
They can't. It's just physically impossible to do that.
Listen, I pray I never have to go into one of those.
Me too.
And I pray my children don't put me in one of those. And
no, I thought you were going to say, because I was going to say, I pray that doesn't happen to any of my family members.
Oh,
I swear to God, I'm going to punch you dead in your face if I find out you punched my grandmother in the face.
Well,
what's wrong with you?
Well, for me, because our grandma's not here anymore. But if grandma was here,
can I still pretend I'm 22 years old? Thank you.
Okay. but again, it goes not just your grandmother, your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if your mom, God forbid, has to be put in that predicament, I don't care if you got good days, a good relationship, bad relationship with your mom. That's still your mom at all costs. And just because our relationship may be rocky, I'm her daughter or I'm her son. You're not going to do that.
And to be honest with you, I don't even care if it wasn't even family. If I was to hear or even see that
something like that,
we're going to have a problem.
You got to stop that.
Yeah.
Because the person who was recording, I'm glad you recorded so we see it, but I'm sure if you was recording, somebody else was there watching. Nobody felt the need to tell her to stop. Nobody felt the need to take a break. This lady's privates is hanging out and you're pulling her hair.
Right.
What is wrong with people?
Right. All right, let's move on to the last video clip that we're going to share with everyone. This is something special.
This is not special. This is not special.
What is she doing?
You know what she's doing. I seen this.
Wait, did she just?
Yes.
Woo! Now, could you imagine yourself being in the street watching that right now? You would grab your popcorn, wouldn't you, JB?
Yeah, I'm here for the comments.
JB would go downstairs.
That was incredible. That was great. What would you do if you was to see that happening right in front of me? Amen to that. Me too.
Oh shoot.
Me too. And I'd star it too. It's a favorite.
Hashtag.
What is that?
Only in the
I'm
Bronx.
sure that's on World Star Hip Hop. I'm sure
Wherever
that
it
is.
is.
Wherever it is.
Hashtag. Only in the Bronx. Hashtag.
Only in the
Heights. Only on Dykeman.
Yeah, for real. No, it's true. Only in New York. Only. Now, I don't know
No,
where
it's
that
not.
happened
Because
at,
at
but.
the end of the day, that girl had to be on drugs. to
So,
do something like that.
as the only female here, would you find yourself doing that, running after a man? Excuse me, even on drugs, you could see yourself doing that, running after a man.
She don't
Have you met me?
on drugs.
Have you met me?
You're right. You don't necessarily have to be on drugs to be doing
No,
that.
you're
Just
right.
got angry with the situation.
Right.
He probably cheated on her.
No, probably.
And she's like, oh, this
Probably.
is what you out
Right.
here going after? I don't have enough? Look, I got enough.
Right. But why do they think? Why did she think that was okay to do that? That would get him back.
Because women are emotional creatures. And they don't think about the consequences at that moment. They just react. And then she's probably regretting it now, especially because she went viral.
Would you like to comment, Lady D?
You know, these females keep just giving us material. You know, you can't even say a lady anymore because how we conduct ourselves is not even ladylike.
That surely wasn't.
It's not. And it's funny because they use the BICTH for female dog, but all of y'all fall under that criteria the way y'all be acting. Because I don't understand, and I hear you, and that's probably really what the situation was. You probably was saying, "This ain't good enough for you." That's probably what the situation was. However,
The
I'm
person
sorry.
recording from the window had to have been saying, "Look at this
No,
bitch."
it's not even that. I wasn't going to use the term, but okay. I told you I'm trying to become a Christian. The problem I have with it is the blatant I don't care in the street. Everything we do now is so much outdoors in the street, so you don't care about people's kids. You don't care about the community. You don't care. I feel you. If that's what you want to do, I feel you. You could have did that in your apartment. Stand in front of the door, block him so he can't get out, and just take your clothes off. And do that. And then maybe someone in the window caught it, kind of be like, 'cause you know, there's people, Tom. Somebody probably would have caught it. Don't worry, you still could have went viral.
But it was in the street at the car, so maybe he wasn't willing to go back to the
By
crib.
the car, he was in that house at some point. Trust me. He was in that house at some point. Females are emotional, but females are smart. Before he would have found out that before he found out that you knew what he was doing, he could have been in the house. You didn't have to wait for it to get downstairs. You could have went to, come upstairs, Poppy. Let's eat. Let's drink. Let's smoke. Let's talk about it. Women are not stupid. You didn't have to do it right then and there. My point in saying is whatever it is that you was dealing with, you did it within a community. There are children. There are parents. I don't want me driving and sitting at the red light while this lady is running around with her tatas around the goddamn car. And my kids are, Mommy, what's that? What's going on?
Right,
Ooh,
right.
No, that is not okay. It's
Right.
not. And that's the problem that I have with it. I don't know what you're suffering with. I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't really care. I'm saying learn some damn discretion. Keep that behind closed doors. Why does it have to be in the street? Why does everybody have to see your private parts?
And learn some respect for yourself
man.
for doing that in the street. I mean, that was disrespectful to her and to him. I mean, I don't know if he thought it was cute and funny. I surely wouldn't
What if
think
you
it was
have kids?
cute and
What
funny.
if you somebody's mama? You are somebody's mother.
That went out the window. That totally went out the window.
Come on.
All right, guys. That will be it for our current event
Well, we got one more.
venting.
One more what?
What we got?
The double murder.
Oh.
Murdoch. I don't even know why you want to talk about. The man was guilty. The man was up to his eyeballs in debt, and he murdered his son and his wife. What are you talking about?
I think his last name is fitting for him. Alex Murder. It's Murda.
Murder. It's really murder.
But Mr. Murda is now a murderer.
And his son told on
And the
from
son
grave.
told on him from the grave. No, the other son told on him too, because the reason why, well, not the reason,
No, I
but
thought he took the stand in his defense.
no, he did take it in his defense, but they used the recording from his son against him because it showed him. Oh, that was the dead son's.
dead son's
I thought that was
son.
the alive
See,
son.
wait,
No, that's, the
I
dead,
didn't-
that's why I said the dead son got him sentenced because of his phone had the video.
Wait a minute. So I'm
was
confused.
the
I didn't
dead
watch the whole.
son's-
I didn't watch the whole thing
was
because
the
it was
dead
just too much. In the video, because first of all, I know that he took the stand, and I from what I was hearing from the juror, I think he had a better chance to win if he didn't take the stand. But I think he shot himself in the foot, from what I've been told. The son who passed away took a video saying what in the video? That he was there and that he was doing it?
And it showed that he was at the kennels.
Yeah, he
at
didn't.
the
He
time.
didn't say he was there, but the video showed him, or his voice was on camera, and of course, you know, every
At the kennels feeding the dogs.
recording
But
is
at the
stamped.
time-
But what was wrong with
At the time, close to the murders, and he said he was not there.
Right.
And
he had to back it up and say-
how did the wife and the son die again? They were burned?
They were shot.
Oh, he shot them.
He shot them both with different guns.
Oh, wow. And I'm usually up on my Oxygen's true crime.
And he
Lord,
told the
snap.
alive son.
This was
"Don't
on
worry about
TV
this."
every
I know
day.
it's TV, but I can't watch. I'm at the hospital, dude.
He told the living son, "Don't worry, you're gonna be this. This is gonna pass. We're gonna be okay.
Yes.
Don't worry about this."
Yes.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Deep.
Now, why did he want to get rid of the wife and the son? What was the underlying reason?
I don't even.
I know they said he owed a lot of money. I think he said that the
Probably
son
a
had
bunch of- it's
the
probably
son
a bunch
had
of insurance.
I think the son had done something. From what I did hear about this, the son did something which caused harm to somebody, and there was like insurance money, something with a boat and a fire, some crap. The son killed somebody by accident or something like
Yes,
that.
there were other
There was like an
killings.
accident.
Yes, I think his young, the one that was
Passed
murdered.
away, yeah.
He was in a boat with some friends,
Yeah.
some young kids, and I think they were drinking.
Okay.
And he was driving.
Okay.
Was going too fast, and they hit a bridge or some sort.
Uh-huh.
And a young lady, I believe,
Fell
flew out and died.
Oh.
And then afterward, at the hospital, the father came, this gentleman, and tried to coach everyone into saying his son,
said.
yes, that his
Okay.
son was not the driver of the boat.
Who was driving them?
It was him. But the father was trying to coach the other people that were there when cops come. Don't say.
Well, who else could they have said? Somebody on the boat had to be driving.
Well, I would agree. I would expect that he offered some kind of money or something to
But the boat
make
can't
up.
drive themselves, so you got to give them a name. That makes no sense.
That's what happened. And then I think it was a guy that was found in the middle of the road dead. That was linked to them as well. That maybe he was a gay guy or something like that, and it might have been something there. Hearsay, conspiracy.
Well,
I
why
don't
kill the wife
know.
now? Why did the wife die?
I'm not sure about that either because I didn't stick
Okay,
to the
I get the
situation.
son.
But
I
you
get
can
the
put
son.
two and two together and kind of
sure.
realize that that's a good hypothesis. But also, I thought that maybe because she's the wife, so she has to know kind of all the things that he's been involved in. So maybe she might have been threatening him or something. Also, don't forget his housekeeper mysteriously showed up dead several years before that as well.
Oh, this man has been bumping people off. Yeah. You know they're gonna make a movie about this.
Black
Well, of
people are
course,
the
of
monsters.
course. Right. But black people are
Most
are
black
the
people are not
monsters.
the
It's
serial
crazy.
killers and the stuff. It's usually the white
crazy.
people. But I digress.
It's
Like you said,
absolutely
if
crazy.
we was as monstrous as they convey us to be, they wouldn't exist.
Hey, wait, say that again.
If
Well,
we
not
were
half the stuff
monsters
they did to us.
that we coined as,
Right.
white people wouldn't exist.
No, I mean not
Well, not
at
the
all.
stuff that we
If
did,
we
and
were
we
the
were saying-
animals that they believe that
we was taking
we are,
revenge,
right?
You know, like people want us to do. They wouldn't. Oh my God! Wow.
Right.
So you bump your own wife off.
I mean, it's really sad. Would I mean, it's a stupid question to ask. Would you do that?
Would I do what?
Would you take your family out?
No.
for money or for any reason.
It was
Well,
drugs.
that's
He
why
was
they
had a drug
say.
problem.
That's why
Cocaine is a
It
hell
was
of a drug.
drugs.
He
Yeah.
was on drug. He was. The father was on cocaine.
I don't know
They
what it
said
was.
drug, but it was drug. Like he owed for money for.
I thought he was a gambler. I know he owed
No,
money.
no,
and
he was definitely a drug addict, and he was going broke for
I believe it
being
was
a drug
opioids, too.
addict. I believe it was something like that as well. And he was going broke, which is why he was stealing his clients' money. The restitution that was given for the death of the housekeeper, he pocketed that. And that was hundreds of thousands of dollars that was supposed to go to her sons, her young sons. And they got a little bit of the money because, they do it in installments. So they got 1 or 2 installments or something to that effect. Don't quote me on that. But the final payment, which was like the lump sum, he pocketed. He kept him and his cronies.
Drugs are a serious thing, and first of all, I don't condone drugs, but I tell you something: if you're gonna do drugs, you can't be weak-minded. If you can't put that blunt down, or put that cup down, or put that needle down, and it consumes your whole damn life, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You
But
really
that's
shouldn't.
what
you should be
drugs
doing
does
drugs,
to you.
period, but,
Drugs
wow.
totally alters your mindset. It takes away your common sense, your sense of reality, where you think that what you are doing or how you're thinking is the normal way, and it's not. And that's what drugs does to you. That this guy was a lawyer.
I know.
A big time lawyer, and it ran in his family, and now
You
look at
tarnished
him.
the whole name.
Well,
You would think that because he was a lawyer, he knew how to get over on this case.
no, well, he did.
He did.
All these years. He's been doing this
He got
for
the maid. He
years.
got off with the
Yeah.
maid. He did. I think he messed up in the sense that the video is
His
the video.
lies. It was his lies.
Yeah, and
The fact that he said he
you
was
all
there.
know that what happens when you continue down that road, it's going to catch up to you eventually. Isn't that what's going on with Trump as well? He'll deny everything as well, but it's catching up to him. This gentleman as well, it caught up to him, and he underestimated the power of cameras and modern technology, because at the end of the day, that's what got him. If it was 20 years ago, he would have gotten away scot-free because there would have been no real evidence. And in fact, that's how he got away with all those other murders, the maid and everything else. There was no real evidence, and they were taking his word for it.
Well, because he's an officer of the court,
right, so to speak.
So being, well, so to speak. Well, ex-officer of the court, being, in that role, you expect for him to be honest and trustworthy. That's really unfortunate, but I think it's great. He'll need to see the light of day, and his poor son. You lost your brother, your mom, and your father.
Yeah, it's really sad. And the son, and the
He's
son
the
that's
youngest,
left
yeah.
is the
That's
only
what I'm
one that's left out of the whole family. And it's really sad to be born and raised. It's 4 family members, and you're down to 1. Not because everyone died from natural causes, but because
Another family member
bumped them off. Yes, yes. Okay, so with that said, I want to leave it with on a positive note. With this picture with these children, it says, "It's my first day of kindergarten," and he's all happy. Look at him. And the other one says, "I hate school, and I refused to hold a sign unless it said I hate school."
You gotta love his honesty.
I thought that was funny
That was cute.
to share with everybody, because he really, you can see in his face, he really hates school. But it's cool that he was
Chris Rock touched on that too.
What did he say? I don't remember that part.
When he was talking about abortion, he was like, you shouldn't have to only worry about the first or second trimester. These kids should be able to be killed up until the age of 4 years old.
He did.
Did he?
He did. You gotta watch it.
I will.
They should be allowed to be killed up until the age of 4.
I don't find Chris Rock is
Up until the age you get their first report card, they ain't amount to
they ain't gonna amount to nothing.
After these cookies, we gonna go see the doctor.
All right. Let's leave it there. Thank you, Lady D, as usual, and JB. Thank you for joining with me today and discussing this week's current events. It's never a dull week around our nation. Is there?
They
There's
always
always
give you
something
material.
going on. Always for material. Have a good weekend. We'll see you guys next week. If you've got any comments or questions that you have in regards to today's topic, or any current events or breaking news that you would like to see us discuss, send us a DM into our mailbox at the Esteban Hour on any of the media platform shows that we have. Sharing is caring, so please, I always ask, share the live if you can. And I always say at the end of every show, if you have an achievement or a goal that you have accomplished today, don't forget to say to yourself, this is how you do it. Good night.